Hello, Dexter fans, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dexter Unwrapped, a podcast where we wander into the shadows and unwrap the dark mind of everyone's favorite vigilante serial killer, Dexter Morgan. As always, I'll be your host, Brooke.
And I'm Michaela.
And today we are talking about episode 7 of Dexter Resurrection, titled Course Correction.
Somebody once told me, you have to go through hell to achieve resurrection. Hallelujah.
Thanks for joining us, podcast listeners. Today we're going to talk about course correction. And my God, are there theories abound at this point?
This episode was crazy.
It was. Very unexpected, actually. I'm seeing so many creative theories. The biggest one being that Jonah Mitchell, the actor, even responded on TikTok to it.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that would be it would be cool.
Yeah, because I didn't realize, I haven't watched season 4 in a long time, so I didn't remember him using that, hook thing. I didn't remember that.
That wasn't in season 4. I think it was season 6, maybe.
Season 6? I haven't. I watch season 1 all the time. I've seen season 1 so many times, but I haven't rewatched season 4 through the end in a while.
Season 6, Dexter runs into Jonah again. He has an inkling maybe he's a killer. There's Brian cameo and
right. See, I completely forgot about that. I saw a screenshot of it on Facebook, and I was like, holy shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say maybe this is how we're gonna get Brian, another Brian cameo again. He's gonna come back and be like, well, you let him go the first time. I don't know.
Makes sense. I also saw an interesting theory today about Harrison and the landlord, that Harrison actually did kill the landlord. Because if you remember, Elsa's he's not responding to my texts. It was this very throwaway moment where she was man, he's not been responding to me. But maybe he actually did kill him. And he just doesn't remember. I feel
what did he do with the body?
I know. I feel like it's a little far-fetched, but it did make me think. I was like, wait, she did say that the landlord hadn't gotten a hold of her. How weird. It was a really cool theory.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I was like, everybody's so creative. But yeah, fresh off of last week's episode, which was crazy, and then this one is insane. I'm really excited to talk about it.
Yeah, me too. It was wild, so.
Yeah, well, without further ado, I guess we'll get into episode 7.
So we jumped right to our title card. I've been seeing some theories that this is a little Easter egg for the New York Ripper.
Yeah. That he possibly uses a manhole. Is that what that
hook?
is?
Yeah, to
the
get
manhole cover hook.
to get it open.
It's been in our face the whole time. Because when you first look at it, you're like, okay, New York City, manhole cover.
But it's such an odd.
Yeah.
Out of all the things in New York City, such an odd thing.
But it makes sense now.
Yeah, it does.
Crazy. I actually saw that the other day on Facebook, and the shout out to Dexter Fan Club on Facebook. Some of y'all are wild as hell, posting some weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in the Dexter Daily Discord.
Yeah.
Getting all the theories and
I need to join that.
There.
I've never used Discord before.
It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'll have to do that. But yeah, theories abound, man. That's why I love doing stuff like this. To just sit and pick apart a show and
especially
so much fun.
Live like this, watching week to week.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Absolutely. Anywho, I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to talk about it too. I think it definitely means something.
Yeah, I mean it's got to, right?
For sure. I feel like I'm afraid we're gonna get to the end and they're gonna be like, this is the New York Ripper, and it's some random fucking guy that nobody knows. And I mean, when you listen back, it's this episode where Claudette plays the clip of the New York Ripper speaking, it kind of does sound like Jonah Mitchell a little bit.
I've been seeing people say it's also Prater, the way he says his
maybe
the S's and stuff. I don't know.
Can you imagine him running around with that big ass thing?
Maybe that's why it's so long, right?
I don't know. I think it's all very interesting, and he is such an interesting character. Leon Prater is. I'm I'm very, very interested into how this is all going to wrap up. And Angel, dude.
Motherfucking Batista.
Just
I am over it.
Just go back to Miami.
I am so over him. I swear if...
I saw somebody say that that like Claudette was going to end up shooting Batista or something.
I mean, Dexter is over his shit too. Like,
I know, but I just don't see Dexter killing Batista. Like, I don't see it happening.
I mean,
know
maybe Harrison's going to kill Batista.
I don't know. This is all it's all so exciting. I can't wait to see.
He has got to go back to Miami and maybe just mind his own business or just something's gotta give.
It says it all, that scene where Dexter, he walks into his apartment and he hears the music upstairs and he's like, man, it's like I'm back in Miami. And then he looks up and he's like, Batista. That just says everything. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Let's get into our episode. So we open up to one of Prater's immaculate estates. They are landing from their little helicopter ride.
The title car is just floating in the fucking air. I cannot stand it.
That's so funny to me that you hate it so much. I don't mind it. I think it's fine.
The cats and mouse one was cool. Like Dexter sweeping it away. That one was
like
cool.
You just like it to be doing something.
Yeah.
Like serving a purpose.
Yeah. This one, it's like it flies apart when the helicopter drives by. Hate it. Absolutely fucking hate it.
And I did want to mention really quick, we post these episodes on Spotify and we also put them on Amazon Music and YouTube. For whatever reason, episode 5 got blocked on YouTube completely. Like, you cannot see it. Some type of copyright issue with one of the clips I put in. I think I'm going to try to go fix it, but if I can't, that one's probably just going to not be on YouTube, so you can listen to it on Amazon Music or Spotify. Anyway. So we open up and Charlie's immediately on her shit. She's just trying to point out the obvious. Like, this is not a very secure location, is what she's telling Prater. And he pretty much tells her to go fuck herself. He's an angry little man. I mean, that's a mistake that so many, like, villains make, is being a dick to their right hand. Because that can fuck you up so quick, and I feel like it's going to. The way he has treated her lately, and she is not feeling it.
Yeah, she's over it.
She does so much for him, and he's got a lot to lose, and she knows everything. And he just continually kind of shits on her. Kind of pisses me off, because I like her a lot. She's one of my favorite characters from this season.
Yeah, she's been killing it. So I can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. And it is immediately clear when they all kind of sit down and start talking that this is definitely a different Gareth. He's very much different from the other one. And you and I were watching Final Cut. Was it Final Cut?
Yes.
With and they had David Desmalchin on, and he was talking about the possibility that maybe one of the Gareths is left-handed and one of them is right-handed.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I want to go back and try to pay attention.
Yeah, I do too. That's so cool. If you see this guy, this Gareth is using his right hand, so maybe the other Gareth was left-handed.
Right.
We'll have to go back and see, like when he picks up his drink or something. I feel like David definitely did that. That's why I love. They just use such great actors for this show, man, because, like, that is such a minute detail that a lot of people probably wouldn't notice, and he put so much thought and effort into doing it anyway.
I feel like they also have a lot of different mannerisms.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's just something, like, the naked eye doesn't catch, you know?
Yeah. Like he mentioned, the walk is different. One Gareth walks different from the other. It's not just, like, the blatantly obvious, and they're both narcissistic as fuck. But the other one was way more like overt about it. He was like more of a peacock, and this guy is kind of more sulking. And it's not just those glaringly obvious differences. There's really subtle ones too, which is so fucking cool. And so Prater tells, he's very annoyed with the shit that's going on. He says he can't reach Lowell. It's not sure whether he realizes that Lowell is dead or not yet, but he mentions that Mia had taken her life in jail the day before. And the way they all kind of look at each other, I don't think Rapunzel is really in on it, but I think Dexter and Gemini both realize that Mia didn't take her own life in jail.
Yeah.
They both just kind of look at each other like, okay.
Al's like, Mama Mia?
Mama Mia's... she's gone?
Mamma Mia. If he wasn't such a freak, I would love that character. Because he's so funny and so he's just like a little golden retriever. He's so doofy. But then when we get to see his video later in the episode, he is a sick fuck.
Yeah, awful.
Awful. The way he's like laughing during it too, it literally gave me chills. I was like, oh my God. And they all have a toast here to Mia. And we're realizing like Leon Prater, yeah, he may give the idea that he's not like these guys, but he very much is. He's a killer too. I mean, he had Mia killed. He's a billionaire and he doesn't have to do it himself.
Right.
He just does it the lazy way, like billionaires do. He has other people do it for him. But he's very much a serial killer. And I really hope we get to see him on the table.
Yeah, me too. I feel like it's just gonna suck if we don't.
Yeah. People are gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be upset if we don't. I'm a little bit upset that, I mean, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, and hopefully you've already seen the episode, so spoilers ahead, but I was a little upset that we never really got to see Gemini proper. You know what I mean? It was really cool, like David Desmulchin had said on the final cut, it was cool for him because he got to do something so different.
Yeah, and he also said that he's going to make Dexter's life a living hell, so I don't know. I don't think we've seen the end yet. Maybe he, has something set up for Dexter.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Because,
maybe.
The fact that he is killed so soon in this episode, I don't know.
It is odd.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's cool that he got to do something so different because both variations of him got a really unique kill, which is
not on a table.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
So next we get over to Harrison and Elsa. They are at the park with Elsa's son. And like I said earlier, she makes an interesting comment here. She says, El Cabron, which means the son of a bitch or the bastard or something like that, hasn't answered any of my texts or calls.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was something I didn't catch the first time. I saw it on social media and I was like, wait, you're right. She did say that he's not responding to her, so.
I don't know. I don't think he's dead.
Maybe he's just being a dick.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is something there, though. I can't wait to see what it is, but.
I've also been seeing a lot of people say maybe Elsa's going to end up dead.
Oh,
whether it be from the New York Ripper or from, Rapunzel.
Dude, what if Rapunzel tries to kill her and oh, dude. It could be anything. Who knows where they're going to go with this. But I did think that was interesting. I wanted to mention it because the landlord shit has to go somewhere. They've made too much of a deal about it.
Right.
You know? So we'll see. And this is also where Harrison tells Elsa that he's been thinking about going back to school for criminal justice.
Good for him.
That's so sweet. Just like Harry, just like Deb. I mean, just like his dad, too. But I think that's so fitting. That makes a lot of sense why he would want to do something like that. Elsa tells Harrison that he should check out the Collings, Career Center for Criminology. So, it looks like your boy's going back to college. That's going to be awesome. But before we get any more on that, we get over to Prater's estate, where he has just a delicious looking spread set out for the guys. And then he has it literally looks like a tray for a rabbit.
I mean, the vegetables look great.
They do. It looks, but come on.
Yeah.
Dexter's no, I want some meat.
Yeah. I love how he gets out of it here. He's like, man, all this good looking meat has just got me thinking.
Yeah. Definitely. And nobody really thinks anything of it, but I think it's just funny. They have all this delicious, all these gourmet meats, and they're like, this is for you, Dexter, and it's fucking rabbit food. And he's like, you know what? No, not today. So they all start to indulge themselves, and Dexter gets a text message from Harrison talking about how he wants to go to college.
Yeah, he asks if Dexter can meet him there, and Dexter just reacts.
Dude, I was just getting ready to say that is such a dad reaction. He thumbs up the text message. I would be like, okay. That's just such a dad thing to do. Really, really funny. It made me LOL, really for no reason, but thumbs up. So then Prater asks Dexter if he would be willing to do his show and tell along with Al. This is something I think we were all waiting for because we're what the fuck is he going to say?
Yeah, I was like, is he going to just pretend to be Red, or is he gonna like let out his true self?
He kind of did a little bit of both, honestly. I like the way he was talking, and we'll get into that in just a minute, but the way he was talking, I was like, is he about to tell them that he's the Bay Harbor Butcher? I thought he was for a second, but he ends up not. But he does give like a very honest show and tell, but not really. And this is where we get to see Rapunzel's show and tell. He hooks up his little, I think he said it was a gift from his kids.
Yeah. Crazy.
Dude, I think, like, honestly, he might be the most terrifying one to me personally, because Dexter, Gemini, Lowell, they're all very, even when you speak to them, you can kind of tell they're predators. But Rapunzel is so, he's chilling. He is so fun-loving about it. And he's like, oh, yeah, the kids got me this. And, my wife, and, like, just... He seems like such a normal, kind person, genuinely. And then you watch this video.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's fucking terrifying. So the way he laughs when he's like choking this woman to death literally sends chills down my spine. He is so fucking scary.
Yeah, so in this video we see that he, gets these girls by pretending that he's hurt on the trail. And, they obviously come over to help him, and then he strangles them to death.
You know what I was thinking is like, I would not get close to him.
Absolutely not.
I'm just a very, like, I don't fucking trust people anyway, and I might stop and be like, yo, you good? But like, I don't
I'll call someone.
Yeah, I don't think I would walk up to him. I mean, I guess you never really know until you're in that type of situation, but Jesus Christ, it's haunting. And he says something interesting. He says, Pop says it's time for a haircut. That has to be part of his trauma somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get into that backstory. I don't know if we're going to have time for that. But it's fucking weird, and that's definitely something. Something's up with that freaking guy, man. Weird. But I feel like they wouldn't include that for no reason. I feel like we're probably going to hear about it somehow. And then, they're all watching it just so pleased, especially Prater. Prater is so pleased with this. And Dexter's inner voice says, they all have to die. I think it's going to happen. I think they're all going to fucking die. I think Prater's going to end up dead too. I think Rapunzel's definitely going to end up dead. I mean, I really kind of expected Gemini to be the last guy standing.
Yeah, me too. So it was crazy that it all just happened so fast this episode. Yeah. I was like, damn.
I know. I sent Michaela a Snapchat. I was just like mouth on the floor. I could not. I was like,
and then the next...
It just happened so like...
It did.
1 second, he's like, you're a genie. He's pretending to
the way he. Oh, we'll get into it. In just a minute,
it's fucking crazy. So this next scene is one of my favorites from the whole fucking episode. Dexter's in the bathroom, like hyping himself up, kind of like something you'd do, like if you were at a party and you were really nervous and drunk or something. He's just
like in the mirror, like talking to himself.
He's just like trying to find the character, and it's absolutely comical. I love that they are letting Michael be funny.
They've never told anybody. The randomness is the best part. You like that, huh? You like that, Prater? You sick fuck! I knew this was a bad idea.
Yeah, it's so good. And Michael does it so well.
He really does. And after his little, I don't even know what that was, a hype session, trying to get into character, there's like a little moment with Harry that I really liked. He actually spins and like grabs Harry's face, which was like a little startling.
Yeah, I loved that whole scene.
Yeah.
And it also reminded me of a scene in New Blood when like Dexter grabs Deb's face as well.
Mm-hmm. I think he says something here about Harry abandoning him because Harry killed himself, which he did. I mean, if you recall from the original show, Harry he struggled with essentially the monster that he had made, quote unquote. But here he tells Dexter that I think he says that he felt like to blame for his suffering, which, I mean, Harry, like,
yeah.
And I know Harry didn't mean that. Of course, he never meant for any of that to happen. But just like Dexter, he inadvertently, by his own selfish actions, caused a lot of fucked up shit. Yeah. I understand how like that type of guilt could eat someone alive. But it was a really, really cool scene. And then Charlie knocks on the door and tells him that they're ready for him. It's show and tell time. So Dexter does his little show and tell. He does do it as Red Schmidt. But I feel like he's very, very honest. He talks like he's him. He just says Red Schmidt instead of Dexter Morgan.
Yeah, he's telling them, in that final moment of the kill is when I'm the saddest. Like, because...
I mean, honestly, Michael's delivery is pretty fucking haunting.
Yeah.
And everything he's saying is very much on point. We even get this little, like, piano blood theme in the background, which is just chef's kiss. So good.
Also want to mention Charlie popping in here. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, maybe she is onto something?
I don't know, man. Charlie's so interesting to me. She's definitely going to have something to do with the way things turn out.
Because she's like, this is a different story than what everybody else has been telling, like...
And that's a point I think Gemini goes on to make is, like, you didn't talk about how you kill people or anything like that. You just talked about, like, how it makes you feel. Prater ends up loving it, which is great. But he doesn't talk, like, he doesn't bring up the actual methods at all. He pretty much just talks about the mask, and he gets into Al's head a little bit here, I think, on purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, Al, if your family found out, they'd hate you. They'd probably turn on you. They'd just see darkness, and you can tell Al is a little uncomfortable. He's like, wait, yeah, like, you're right. Actually, fuck.
I think he also kind of fucks with Gareth here too, because he's like, man, what did you call that again?
Yeah, the great yearning. Oh, so
it's
good.
like, which Gareth was that?
So good. So yeah, it's a really cool moment. It's like an important moment, I think, because he is very honest. Everything he says is true, but he's just not Dexter Morgan in that moment. And after, Dexter's little show and tell, we can't really tell, looking at Prater's face, we can't really tell, like, how he's feeling. It looks like he might be a little displeased, but we don't really get into it. We get over to fuck-ass Angel Batista.
Yeah, they're back at the station, and he's like, don't you think it's weird that just before we're getting ready to talk to Lady Vengeance, that she just mysteriously ended up killing herself? Like,
and he sounds insane when you think about it. Like, that sounds crazy. Even Oliva's like, what do you think Dexter Morgan got into the prison and killed her and then got out before you could show her a photograph? Like, it really doesn't make any sense, if you're not like the viewer like we are. But Angel knows Dexter at this point. He knows the way that he works, and he's finally starting to see the big picture, I think. He makes a comment here about how the cameras had went down in Mia's cell block right at that moment that she killed herself, which is weird.
Yeah. And Wallace here, she's like, there was a
I think she says there was like widespread deficiencies in the camera system. I think because of the New York Ripper shit, she is trying to quote unquote follow where the evidence leads her, because she had and we haven't really learned anything about it, but she had such a hard time with the New York Ripper case because she had a gut feeling, and that's, Angel here says, don't you ever just trust your gut. And that seems to really resonate with her, because for whatever reason, she had some sort of idea about the New York Ripper, but nobody believed her. I really hope we get to dig in deep to that, because I'm interested. And Claudette mentions something interesting here. She says, there is one bit of troubling evidence. Mia's fingerprints were found on all of the trophies except Ryan Foster's watch.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Definitely not. Batista knows something is up.
Yeah. He is not fooled by this, and we see that later in the episode. We end with a really interesting Batista and Dexter scene.
Wild scene. We'll talk about it later. But
yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
So we get back over to Prater's little luncheon. The guys are all having lunch outside. Al's talking about how the helicopter upset his belly. I was like, oh my God, me. I would love to go in a helicopter, but I know I would get so motion sick. Ain't no way. It cracked me up, though. I was like, dude, that would so be me. But then they kind of start talking about Dexter's presentation. Gemini makes a comment about how it was very unique. I don't think Gemini, like, fully knows what's going on, but he knows that something is weird with Red.
Yeah, he's like, there's something off about this year. Like,
yeah, he does make that comment. He's like, so, all of this weird stuff started happening, and what changed? And then he gives a look to Red.
Yeah.
And that's when Dexter's like, I gotta fucking kill this guy. I gotta get rid of this motherfucker. So Charlie comes over and tells Dexter that Prater wants to speak to him. And they have, this little private conversation where we find out that Prater actually really enjoyed his little show and tell. And then he divulges, very personal information about what happened to his parents. About how the man that killed them went to prison. It was a hit and run. And then he actually developed a relationship with this guy. How fucking weird.
Yeah, crazy. He starts writing to him in prison.
Yeah, really bizarre shit. And I think it's interesting when Dexter's talking to him here, we get a flash from the original show. We get, when Rita first dies, he's carrying Harrison. And then we get a flash from New Blood where he is shot in the chest by Harrison. I think it's really cool that they're incorporating all the different shows into this one.
And then we also get a flash of little Dexter, which we also got to see in Original Sin.
Mm-hmm. In the shipping container.
Yes.
So it's really neat that they're incorporating, we got flashes from Original Sin also in previous episodes. So I think that's really cool that they're doing that. But yeah, this is super weird. He develops this, the guy's name is Cooper that killed his parents, and he develops this really meaningful relationship with Cooper, and that is how his fascination and his collection of killers started. How weird.
Yeah, he even shows
a weird
Dexter the first letter he got, and he even calls it his first trophy.
Yeah, really, really, really bizarre. But it just goes to show trauma of all kinds can be a point of splitting off. It can be a point of no return. Had that not happened to Dexter, he wouldn't be who he was. If it hadn't happened to Prater, he wouldn't be who he was, and Gemini and Rapunzel, and so on and so forth. And it's just going back to the whole point of generational trauma and how that echoes through your entire fucking life and changes who you are. And I mean, imagine the amount of people that would still be alive if Dexter hadn't become a serial killer.
Yeah, a lot.
But also on the same, on the different side of the coin, imagine how many people would be dead if he hadn't started killing serial killers.
Yeah, that's true.
So Prater also says that this guy Cooper confessed to him that he had killed people before. And Prater ends up saying, I felt so connected to him, even more so than my own parents.
Yeah, Dexter just kind of gives him this crazy look here.
What a wild statement. This dude is nuts. And then we kind of really get to the core of the whole situation is befriending this guy made Prater feel like he was in control. He would never be, I think he says, the scared little boy ever again, which is the same exact thing with Dexter, really. And with most of these guys is it's all about control. They had once felt so powerless and so victimized that they had to flip the script. They had to become the predator. And so after that really enlightening conversation, we get back over to Angel Batista. And he is pulling up to fucking Blessing's house. This guy is pushing his luck. So Batista and Blessing have a little bit of a conversation. Batista's just on his ass, man. He's even showed up at his house now.
What the hell?
Oh, Lord. We don't get much on that, though, because we do get back over to Prater's estate, which is immaculate. Can you imagine living? And this is just one of his houses.
Yeah, wild. It's beautiful.
Honest to God, this next scene is insane. This is the big Gemini Dexter scene. I fully, when this first happened, I thought, oh, it's one of those cut scenes. He's imagining this. Or it's one of those daydream scenes that they do sometimes.
Yeah, I was not expecting him to kill Gemini here.
I was like, oh, it's one of those. And then he never snapped out of it. I was like, oh my fucking God. So he sees Gemini kind of sitting very Gemini-like, dejectedly alone on this bench, and he goes over to talk to him. Ask that question again, Michaela. Ask the audience.
How do you sign up to be a victim? Because honestly, I would love just to be a dead person in Dexter.
I swear to God, I thought the exact same thing. Not in this scene, but when Claudette's flipping through the New York Ripper pictures, I was like, and who are these people?
Yeah.
And how do you sign up?
Literally, like, I want to be dead.
Seriously, okay, I know there is no fucking possible way that, like, anybody knows about this podcast. I mean, Scott Reynolds is very active on social media, so he might have, like, seen our name somewhere or something, because we
get a hold of him.
We tag people so much, but, like, dear God, we will lay there dead, and we will love every minute of it.
You don't even have to pay me,
no,
honestly.
We'll do it for free. We'll do it for free. But it's so funny because I was literally thinking the same thing. It's like, how do you get a gig like that?
Yeah, just cover me in blood.
I'd be like, tongue out. I would do it so good.
Like, even if it's just like a snapshot second of me and in the episode, like,
for sure. I mean, Gareth got 2 characters named after him, which
incredible,
very well
deserved. Yes,
Gareth is amazing. He has been doing this for like
15 years. It's his 15-year
so
anniversary
half
this
as
year.
long as we've been alive.
Yeah,
he's been covering Dexter. That is
crazy.
So amazing. That is so much hard work. Congratulations to him.
Dexter.
Yeah, he definitely deserves it. But like, you know, we've been grinding sometimes. We've been putting in some work. So like, you know, if anybody wants us to come lay dead, we'll do it happily. So here they're having a conversation. Dexter's like, I know you're a twin, which is probably, Gemini's probably like, what?
Yeah, like,
the
who
fuck
is this motherfucker?
Seriously, it's probably very jarring for him. But then Dexter asks him, so who was it the first night at Prater's dinner? Was it you or your twin? And I 100% think that it was him, the guy that we're talking to now.
I have no clue. I'm gonna have to go back and watch and like really investigate.
I mean, I think it's very obvious just based on how they act. I think the first
this
night,
one's like the quiet one.
Yeah, he is like the quiet, shadowy, just a little bit more reserved. I think it was definitely him, just the looks that he gives. We'll have to go back and look and see what hand he was using with his drinks.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it was him. And then I think back when they're talking about Mia and everything, it was the other guy, the one that Dexter killed first.
Right.
And then we're back to this guy. And it was confirmed that both of these guys are named Gareth.
Yeah, both brothers. Crazy.
So it kind of also makes sense why it would be really hard to detect that they were different people. Like if you were to do like background checks or like look into them, they have the exact same name. And I want to talk about what kind of fucked up parents would name their identical twin sons the same name.
Yeah, did they just like, were they only expecting one child? And
we'll just call them both Gareth. That's insane. Probably one of the reasons they ended up fucking crazy is because their parents were probably crazy. Because that is wild. Michael is the best fake crier.
Yeah, he's so good at it.
So he has this moment where he's trying to like get into Gemini's head once again, talking about, I almost said Rudy. That's his fake name. Talking about about Brian and how, you know, they had met each other when they were in their 30s and they couldn't really bond. And he had always hoped that he and Brian could have had something similar to what the Gareths had, but it never really turned out that way. And it seems like Gareth's taking it to heart. He's really like, yeah, like this guy gets it. And then the conversation takes it's like a car wreck. You get whiplash from how fucking fast this conversation spins.
It's crazy. Like we never really get to see the side of Dexter unless he's got them strapped down to a table.
It's almost like he used this to get Gareth into a very like vulnerable position and then just completely murked this fucking guy. And I do think it's funny here, before all of that goes down, Dexter asks Gareth, he's like, how do you do it? How did you keep your secret all these years? And Gareth's like, well, I can't go into specifics. But like, if you really want to know. And then he starts talking about it because he just can't. He and the other Gareth are so similar. They're very narcissistic and they can't stand to not talk about themselves. Like they love themselves. And so then Dexter makes a comment about, because Gemini says, you know, we can never be seen together. We have a very specific way that we communicate with each other. And Dexter says, like leaving notes at bookstores.
Yeah, and Gareth's eyes kind of light up here. And so I think that this Gareth is the Gareth that left the note in the bookstore, and then the other Gareth is the one that saw Dexter looking at the bookmark and accidentally knocked over the book and then followed Dexter home.
Yeah, that's very, very possible. I mean, who knows? Like, we'll probably never know.
Yeah, but then we see that this Gareth that never got the other Gareth never got the note, and then this Gareth is like, well, what the fuck? So,
And this is where the tone completely shifts. Dexter says,
I'm curious. They say twins can feel each other's pain. Is that true? Did you feel a sting in your chest last night? Around 8:20? Why? Because that's when I stabbed your brother in the chest.
dude, and I've seen so many TikTok edits already because this moment is
it's so good.
It's on par with like, I killed my brother, I killed yours too. It's like that type of moment.
Yeah. Ugh.
So after Dexter says that, a fight ensues, and Gareth does break the wine glass, and he is like fully ready to attack Dexter. So, and this goes so much, like even back to season 1 where he's fucking with Dokes. Season 1 and season 2 where he fucks with Dokes. He knows how to instigate people to make himself look like the victim.
Yeah, and I love the line he says, I have my own thing, killing killers. So he like admitted to Gareth.
He did. Yeah.
So.
He was right before he killed Gareth, he was fully himself, like he had mentioned in his little show and tell. It's a shame though we didn't get to see Gareth really like digest that. I would have loved to have seen that. This shit is brutal. The way the first initial wine glass didn't fully kill him, so he picks up another piece and puts it deeper. Insane.
And poor Gareth here, he tries to get out. He killed my brother. He tries to.
Yeah, he gurgles it out, and Dexter's like, no, and puts another piece of glass into his neck. It's fucking nuts. And we see Dexter shove it into his pocket.
Yeah, at first I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing? But it all makes sense at the end of the episode. And just like Dexter's so good at the 2 birds, 1 stone type of thing, not only is he getting rid of Gemini, he's also dealing with the Lowell problem. He tells them, he said he was gonna get rid of me and Lowell and Al. He was gonna show Prater that he was the best by killing us all.
Dexter's smart, man. He's like, I gotta knock this off the list here, and they're on my ass.
Nobody works better under pressure than Dexter fucking Morgan.
I could never.
I wish I knew his middle name. We never find out his middle name, ever, do we?
Really?
I've Googled it. I've searched high and low. I just been calling him Dexter Reginald because I don't know what the man's middle name
at
is.
the wedding or anything? They don't I don't know. It's
no. I've Googled. If anybody knows what Dexter, actual canon, what his middle name is, please tell me. And I will say, Charlie is very smart as well. She immediately clocks it.
Yeah, she's like, he kills in pairs. Like, why all of a sudden is he killing off one by one?
With a wine glass, she says. So, I think from the beginning something's been weird about Dexter to her, but she's, she does her job for the money, so she's never really said anything about it, but...
And Dexter is the only new thing in this little group.
Yep, it is definitely a pattern. But he is so good at evading capture and, rule number 1, don't get caught. He was trained by a fucking police officer. He's just good at this. I mean, this guy is an evil genius.
He really is.
I love the comment he makes when he says, Gemini was the golden son, but today, Prater saw him for who I wanted him to see him as. A lunatic. He knows exactly what he was doing with this. And he fucking did it, buddy. And what's even crazier is I feel like if Prater knew, actually what was going on, he'd be fascinated.
This is off topic, but I also want to mention that the house, this mansion, beautiful mansion, if there's any Swifties out there, was used as the blank space house.
Oh my God.
I just saw someone mention it earlier, and I Googled it, and it is.
That's cool. So this must be a pretty popular shooting spot then.
I mean, it's very beautiful, so...
That's really cool. That's a cool little tidbit. I thought you were about to tell me Dexter's middle name.
Oh, no.
And you were like, no, if there's any Swifties. So then we get over to Harrison's little like college visit that he's doing, that he's expecting Dexter to come to.
Yeah, Dexter's nowhere to be found. He's still holed up with Prater.
And he meets himself a little blonde. I saw people talking about that, but he likes blondes just like his dad.
This girl's got some edge to her, though.
Yeah, she's cool.
Unlike
She's
Rita.
She's a little alt baddie. She's cool. And she ends up being the like guide for the tour. So they start touring, and Dexter is, of course, still not there. So Dexter gets dropped off by the helicopter. He is trying to race to get to the thing with Harrison. And Prater makes a comment here about how they always do like a final dinner for their quote-unquote gathering. And he hopes Dexter will make it. And Dexter says, he wouldn't miss it for the world. So I'm wondering how that's going to turn up.
Yeah, it's just going to be him and Al?
Yeah, literally. Him, Al, and Prater. Because everybody else is fucking dead.
Or is it just going to be Red and Prater? Is he going to get a hold of Al before then?
Ooh, I hope so. I can't wait to see him die. He's a freak. I do want to mention a little bit of a continuity error here. When you look at Dexter's phone, previously he had just thumbs up the message.
Yeah, the writer's probably like, I don't like that. We gotta...
Which, like,
I guess you can't really, if you're not really paying attention, you can't really tell, like, what it is.
No, and it's, like, not that big of a deal at all.
Yeah.
But it is funny. He thumbs up the actual message, but when we go back and look at it a second time, when Harrison's like, where are you? He has just sent a big thumb.
Yeah, like the thumbs up emoji.
Yeah, weird little error there. So Harrison's tour has come to an end. And at the very end, they go and audit like a criminology class. And Harrison walks in, and who is teaching this class but fucking Claudette Wallace.
Yeah, they make eye contact.
The detective that's on his ass. The way they just stare at each other is so hilarious.
Yeah, I wish Harrison wouldn't have tried to like turn around and leave. I
Yeah.
wish he would have just acted cool and went and got a seat. But
He was like, oh, fuck. He immediately turned around, but there was people in the doorway, so he couldn't get out. He was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go sit down and listen to this woman speak. And it's even funnier when Dexter walks in.
Yeah.
She's speaking, and she completely loses her train of thought when she sees, she's like,
she wasn't expecting to see Dexter Morgan, the guy Batista's been speaking about. Like,
so crazy as she is, a homicide detective, and the possibility that the Bay Harbor butcher just walked into her seminar. I'm sure I can understand how that's distracting.
yeah.
And we also find out that she is discussing who else but the New York Ripper. She shows a lot of the case photos, like I was talking about earlier, all the dead people, when I was like, how do I do that? How do I become one of these dead people?
Sign me up.
I feel like it's got to be, you have to like know the right people or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like they're just not random people. I don't know.
I don't know. But she also plays a clip of the New York Ripper's voice, which kind of maybe does sound like an older Jonah Mitchell. But I'm wondering, does the timeline work out for that?
Yeah, Prater says, he terrorized the streets I once walked as a child.
I don't really, like, they haven't really given a timeline, right?
No, yeah, there is no timeline.
So I'm not really sure, but like I said earlier, the weapon that Jonah was using in, like you said, season 6 is reminiscent of this hook, this manhole cover thingy that Prater has in his vault from the New York Ripper. So I don't know, man. I think people may have figured it out. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's somebody completely random.
I don't know. Jonah would be crazy, though.
It would. It really would. But I'm like, who else could it be? Like, other than just like a random guy.
I don't know. Jonah would be crazy, especially if like he ran into Harrison and be like, your dad killed my mother. Like,
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
It's going to be exciting. I tell you that much. And I think it's interesting here. She says that he doesn't kill anymore, but he still continues to contact and torment his victims. So he's still alive, but he's not killing anymore. I feel like that detail might mean something as well. I don't know. It's all very odd.
Yeah, I want to know more. That's for sure.
It's also interesting to note here that she says that they don't know what the murder weapon was. So they have yet to figure out exactly what it is.
Yeah, but how the fuck does Prater have it? in his little museum.
He knows somebody. Maybe he knows the New York Ripper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who knows? I'm sure we're going to find out very soon. And Claudette's here she's talking about psychopaths and how they are emotionally deficient, how they don't feel empathy, they don't feel love, they only feel what can service them. And Harrison kind of gives Dexter this little side eye. And Dexter's like, is that what he thinks about me? Bruh. Have you ever heard that TikTok sound where it's like, Rue, is this play about us? That's what I thought when I saw this clip, is because, like, she's sitting here talking about how evil and terrible psychopaths are, and Dexter's just sitting there like,
I am one, actually.
Is this me? Are you talking about me? And I don't know that, like, a lot of people don't believe that Dexter is a psychopath, and I'm kind of, like, teetering on that because, and he does have, like, he makes a comment in just a couple minutes, he says, I don't remember exactly what he says. I don't have a lot of feelings, or I may not feel things the same way people do. But he tells Harrison, I know that the way I feel about you is different than the way that I feel about anyone else in the world. So I do feel like he really does have love for his son.
And he loved Rita.
I do think he loved Rita, absolutely, in his own way. But, like, as much as he was capable of.
Right.
You know what I mean? And right before they're about to leave, Claudette calls them over. I was thinking, oh, good Lord, what's this bitch about to say?
Yeah.
What could she possibly be about to say right now? She tells Dexter here that she knows that he was a cop because Angel Batista paid her a visit. He's like, the look on his face, he's like, good fucking God.
Yeah.
Angel is everywhere. He really is touched by an angel because Angel is just everywhere right now.
Yeah, Harrison also mentions here that he wants to become a cop. He tells her that the detective work she did with Ryan Foster, really inspired him, and he wants to be.
I can't tell if he's telling the truth or if he's just kissing her ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Harrison be lying too.
He does.
And Dexter puts on his best real boy impression here. And he really tries to seed doubt in her mind about Angel. He's like, yeah, I really loved Angel. He was never the same after he found out that his partner was the Bay Harbor butcher, and after his wife got killed in the line of duty, the guy lost his mind pretty much.
I'm like, damn, Dexter, like, fuck.
He is kicking ass and taking names. He's taking no fucking prisoners at this point. He is done
He's
with
like,
all of it.
I am not getting caught.
No.
Like,
he's like, I've come this far. My knees ache. My back hurts. Why won't y'all just let me kill people in peace? I think it's funny here how he's talking about Batista and he says, yeah, but we all loved him. And then he gives this little smile like, I love people. Like, I'm not a psychopath. I love people. He's really trying.
yeah, he is.
I feel like she's too smart though. And I feel like she's going to really see through all of that.
Yeah, she's not believing any of this bullshit he's speaking right now.
And before Dexter leaves, he drops a little kernel of information. He's like, your crowbar theory for the New York Ripper, it's nice and all, but have you ever thought about it being something longer?
Yeah, and he does his little, like, dance.
Yeah. He's like something with, like, a point and a hook at the end. And he, like, kind of pantomimes it, and she steps back, like she's a little startled by it. So he's already, like, giving her little kernels to help her out with this. It's very Hannibal Lecter of him. And, like, I feel like that might end up helping him. Maybe he's going to help her figure out the New York Ripper once and for all, and maybe she's going to give him some type of leniency just like Angela did.
Yeah, very possible.
So Dexter drops Harrison back off at the hotel, and he gets back over to his apartment. And we see why he put that glass in his pocket earlier.
Yeah, he does some forensic work and rehydrates the blood, and he does a double slide.
Also something very unique.
So
he has
good.
never done that before.
So good.
So not only did Gemini get a really cool twist, they got really cool kills, and they have a really cool fucking blood slide. Good for David Desmulchin, because that character is just a really standout, very unique character in the Dexter verse. He puts them side by side. It's like, I don't know, it's very poetic. It's very cool looking too.
Yeah, it is. Very cool.
And then after he does that, he hears some like Cubano. He hears like Cuban music coming from upstairs, and he's like, man, it's like I'm back in Miami. And then he looks up and he's like, Batista. And of course, it is Angel Batista upstairs dancing around with Blessing and Blessing's family.
I thought we might get a little Dexter dance here, but Dexter is just pissed off.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta fucking get rid of this guy. And Angel does his own little,
We get a surprise, Hermano.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice that. Surprise, motherfucker. But it's a surprise, hermano. But he does his own little quip here. He's like, I was just passing through. Thought I might try to catch you. And the look on his face, he knows he did something. He's like, oh, shit. So once they get into the car, Dexter immediately is like, listen, I'm going to put the clip in right here.
I'm only gonna say this once. Stay away from me, from my house, my family, and especially my son.
You think I'm just gonna back off? Let you get away with what you did to Maria and Dokes and Deb?
You don't want to get into this.
Or what? What are you gonna do? Pretty damn coincidental you becoming a rideshare driver just when there's a serial killer taking out rideshare drivers. That's a move right out of the Bay Harbor Butcher's playbook.
He's really just done with this whole Angel Batista thing. He pretty much is threatening him here.
And Dexter's kind of scary here.
He is. Even the look on his face is scary. I'm like, oh,
terrifying.
shit.
We're like, damn, like he is just
Really
done
yeah,
with this shit.
He takes that mask off and he really is like monstrous underneath.
Yeah.
Even though he's a very, very anti-hero type of character, he can be really scary.
He's like, I am not about to get fucking caught right now, you know? Like,
Especially not by you, motherfucker. And he ends up telling Angel, this is not going to turn out good for you. If you really think that I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher, shouldn't you know that you are in danger? And Batista says, I'll take my chances. Golly. So it looks like he is not going to let up. He is not letting this go. And before he gets out of Dexter's car, he puts a tracker
like, God damn it,
in
Batista.
the vehicle.
Ooh. I'm like so sad that Dexter didn't clock it right away.
Yeah.
Like,
Because duh.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of obvious, I fear. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Dexter definitely should have checked his car, and maybe he probably will discover it at some point.
I don't know.
But
I've been seeing some theories that maybe Batista's gonna follow them to Prater's last dinner.
oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And that would make because the thing that he can't figure out is Prater. He's like, I know Dexter had something to do with Mia and all this stuff, but he is not realizing that there is someone else kind of orchestrating things behind the scenes, and that's Leon Prater. So maybe he will figure that out.
Yeah. Oof.
Touched by an Angel. Is that the next episode?
No, that is episode number 9.
So that's our
penultimate.
Yeah. What's the next episode called?
The Kill Room Where It Happens.
Ooh, yeah. And Desmond Harrington's in that one.
The next episode?
Yep.
Okay.
I saw his name credited
Okay,
on
yeah,
there.
I knew we were gonna get at least one more scene with him because we got like a still of him like in his like a red shirt.
Yeah.
Like it looks like maybe he's like working a crime scene.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be that next one because I saw him credited on that one. So it's going to be exciting. And that is the end of our episode. Course correction.
Yeah, this was such a good episode.
It really is. What are you going to rate this one?
I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 as well.
Ooh.
I think I gave the last one a 9.5 too, but it's just so good.
Yeah.
We get another kill.
Excellent.
Insane kill. We get to see just an insane side of Dexter.
There was I'm going to give it a 9.5 too. There was so much to love about this episode. So much unique stuff. So much stuff they brought back. I think they're doing a really good job of like mixing in new, fresh, exciting things, but also keeping like the pulse of Dexter underneath all of it. I'm very proud.
Yeah, I am very proud as well. They have
great.
done such a good job. My expectations were low,
Yeah.
and they have just exceeded.
Yeah, because
everything.
I mean they've done so much, and typically reboots and like things like, you know, spin-offs and stuff like that just aren't typically the best. But this, I mean, Original Sin was great too. So they've just really got like a good crew of people who really understand the characters and, you know, what the fans want. So we're really lucky in that aspect. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what comes next. I'm so excited to see how they're going to tie all this up. The New York Ripper stuff, the stuff with Prater, the stuff with Harrison. There's so many different things culminating, and it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm so sad there's only 3 more episodes, but we're supposedly in for 3 seasons so far. Nothing has been confirmed as of yet, but I'm ready.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, as long as people are listening, we're going to keep going. So we'll cover Original Sin Season 2. We'll cover, the whatever else if Resurrection comes out.
We're still wanting to do Supernatural.
Yes, we definitely still want to do Supernatural. And just in time for spooky season.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that some more and get it planned out. It's called Salt and Burn. We're probably going to try to have some new episodes up after Resurrection ends.
Yeah, so at least by October.
Yeah, hopefully by the beginning of October, we'll be able to get started on Salt and Burn. So if you're a Supernatural fan, be looking out for that. Remember, you guys can follow us on social media. We have Instagram, TikTok, X. We update our Instagram a lot. That's where we post like our bingo card and stuff like that. So give us a follow. You can also subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Music. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week to cover episode 8, The Kill Room Where It Happens. As always, I'm your host, Brooke.
And I'm Michaela. And until next time, stay safe and keep that dark passenger in check.